Okay, thanks for attending, everyone. My name is Adrian Hibbert. Just get my slides up and running. Here we go. So we're just running a few minutes late, just allowing for a few more people to catch up. I'm just going to go through a quick introduction on who I am, basically, and just a few minutes, probably 5, 6, 7 minutes. Now I'll be passing you over to Gero and Duggan then for the main presentations of the Vital Angels business opportunity. So as I was saying, my name is Adrian Hibbert. I'm based in Sully in the Vale of Glamorgan. That's in between Penarth and Barry Island. So just on the outskirts of Cardiff. That's myself there, my partner Virginia, and Virginia's two daughters, Charlotte and Laura. I've been with Virginia for the last 9 years, and I've known the two girls since they were 5 and 9, and now they are 14 and 18. That photograph is taken there in Cardiff Bay, in the marina there. That's where I spend a lot of my times on the weekend. I started my career in British Gas in 1986, just after leaving school. I spent 10 years in British Gas as a clerical assistant, basically, in a 9 to 5 situation. So yeah, I done my sort of apprenticeship there, 10 years in a sort of just over, well, I call it a just over broke situation, but I was actually probably on a good wage compared to most people at the time, because I think my wages were around £15,000 a year. So the British Gas, they could pay us. I think they actually well paid even today. So and I had a good lot of shares out of the company as well, which I still got today. But sadly, I got sacked in 1996. A bit of that and a bit of sort of redundancy in between, really. But I ended up with a nice £15,000 payout, and also a £3,000 bonus, which I could use towards any training of my choice. And I chose BSM, the British School of Motoring. That was just something I thought of at the time. It looked an easy job, teaching people to drive. It took about a year to actually get through the training. And then I was actually 1 year on the road teaching people. But actually, after spending sort of into the second part of the second year, I gathered basically this wasn't for me. It was very stressful. The hours were long. I was starting 9 o'clock in the morning, finishing 9 o'clock in the night. And the time I paid all my petrol and overheads, there wasn't much really left at the end of the day. But anyway, that lasted 2 years. I set up a taxi business then from 1997 to 99. That was a bit more lucrative. I had 2 cars, me and my partner at the time. We bought two Vauxhall Granadas, as they were then, or Vauxhall Amigas, quite old cars now today. And we plated those cars as Hackney pickups, and away we went. Yeah, good money. Making Friday and Saturdays, we were well paid. But again, quite long hours, working in 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. So yeah. But it was a good 2 years, good experience, and he paid the bills. And I moved on then to a mobile phone business in 1999 to 2001. I was always a bit of a gadget guy. I liked playing with phones and repairing them. So I got into basically the gadget business, mobile phones, the old Nokia 401s. I'm not sure if you remember those, and the 3310s. They were all the craze then, with the flashing aerials, the vibrating batteries. There was all kinds of gadgets, and there was a brilliant markup on the items. I was buying car chargers and carry cases for like 29 pence and selling them for 9.99. So there's a massive profit within that business. But while all this was going on, property was always in my mind, and I just had that funny feeling that property was the future and that would make it big for me, and it eventually did. I actually read a book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I'm not sure if anyone's read that book. It's well worth reading. Robert Kiyosaki teaches you all about owning assets, properties, shares, gold, basically all the things that will end up making you wealthy over the long term. So yeah, I've read that book many times, and I still listen to it on my car on an Audible sort of setup. Just download it from audible.com. It's well worth listening into. So I bought my first property for around £12,000. Sadly, my gran died, and that was the first property I bought. Rather than my mother sell it on the open market, I decided to buy the property from my mother. So I paid her the £12,000, basically taking out a bank loan with the Halifax at the time, and just paying a £1,200 deposit. That was my first rental property, and my first tenant was in place, and I started to earn my money then from that first property. My second property I bought in 1996. That was the actual first property that I moved into myself to live. Paid a bit more for that. It was a bit more. It was a much better property, a 3-bed semi with off-road parking for around 4 or 5 cars. A nice, again, 10% deposit. So as you can see, you're not using my £15,000 redundancy money all in one go to buy one property. I'm leveraging my money and I'm buying properties just with deposits. And that was the way to do things then, because properties are very cheap and you can get away with, even a 5% deposits on some deals. So I ended up acquiring 36 properties between 1999 and 2007. I went a bit crazy. I went on a property course in 2001 with a guy called Russ Whitney. I don't know if you know him. If you Google him, he's a top sort of guru in America. He came over to London, and I ended up on a property course. It cost me £3,000 for a one-day property course in London. And I was the guinea pig on that course with a guy called Kevin Green. I don't know if you know Kevin Green, but he owns 650 properties, and he's based in Buryport in West Wales. And obviously he's in a completely different league to myself, but he's a great guy, and he's a farmer from West Wales and a really nice guy. So yeah, I ended up on a one-day property course with him, and there we go. We've even friends even now today. So I ended up with 38 properties rather, and that's what I'm living off today now. That's my income basically. The mortgage is still quite low. I'm on a low rate tracker with the mortgage companies, and the rents, well, obviously a lot more than what the mortgage is, so it's giving me a nice little cash flow. In 2008, when the property market took a bit of a dive and everything crashed, I thought this is a good time to take some time off. So I took a 2-year holiday and moved to a place called Torrevieja in Spain. Not sure if any of you have been out there. I've actually got a 2-bedroom apartment out there now. If any of you want to actually use that apartment, you're welcome to that. Get off in Alicante Airport. It's a 45 minutes drive south of Alicante Airport. But basically, it was too much of a good thing, really. Lying on the beach, taking too much time off, drinking, eating. It caught up with me in the end, and I had to start slowing down, basically. So I got bored, basically. So I ended up getting a job. Property is all I knew, so I got a job with a company called Atlas International, and I was selling property on the Costa Blanca South, picking up people from the airport on 3-day inspection trips. That was a great lot of fun, and obviously I got to know the area basically inside and out. So I am quite an expert now on the Costa Blanca from a property point of view as well. But at the same time, I was always looking for ways of making money online. So in the evening when I was getting home, I was always on the internet, onto Google, and just basically make money online, how to make money online, looking for all these basically at the time get-rich-quick schemes, which were always turning up. I got involved with a few of those get-rich-quick schemes, but for some reason they didn't seem to last, and normally they lasted anywhere between 6 months and up to 2 years maximum, and then they just died away, basically. Luckily, I made money from them. I made over $200,000 in 3 of those companies, but sadly, a lot of people lost a lot of money in those companies, so it was down to basically the timing. If you got in the right time, you made money. If you got in too late, then obviously you lost money. That's the sad thing about a lot of things online today. But anyway, I've been aware of Viral Angels for the last 2 years, basically, since the launch. And Gerwin will be on now shortly. He's been keeping on to me about it for the last 2 years, but I eventually gave in on the 8th of May this year. I joined as a gold member. I set up my €89 a month. The second month I upgraded to platinum. I'm now as an emerald member, paying in €550 a month. And I also put €5,000 of my money in on my credit card on around about the first or second week after the 8th of May. And that €5,000 has actually grown now to 16,100. Well, it's actually grown over 20,000 now as of today. And so I'm quite happy with the way Viral Angels is moving forward. That was me there with the chairman of Viral Angels out in Sweden, out in Stockholm, Sweden, a few weeks ago. So I got the privilege of meeting Philip Reed, the chairman. Gives the company a lot of credibility. If you want to check, Google him, Philip Reed, chairman of Viral Angels, and that's the actual CEO of Viral Angels. I met him in Sweden, Stockholm. Also met him again last week at the Viral Angels event in London. He flew over from Sweden. That's Anthony Norman. And that's my good friend there, James Rowney. I think he's on the webinar tonight. It was myself, James, and Gerwin that flew out to Stockholm. And we had a great time, basically. We only stayed for the one night, and we were there for actually 2 full days. That's outside the head offices in Stockholm, Sweden. Myself and James again. That's just relaxing on the late morning when we arrived at the hotel. Us on Nacka Strand, a local waterfall down in the marina there, a real nice scenic place. And there we are in the head offices, and that's the Viral Angels beer drum, which we ended up finishing off at the end of the night. But anyway, basically, now's the time, I think, for Viral Angels. It's really gaining momentum. It had around 800 members last November. It's topped now 5,000 members. I really feel now is the time to get involved with Viral Angels from a first mover vantage point of view. There's my telephone number and email address and some Facebook and Twitter addresses if you want to get in touch with me personally, but obviously get back to the person that's introduced you to this Hangout, and obviously I can support you and whoever else is involved. So yeah, over to you, Gerwin. Are you there?
Hello?
There you go. Good timing. So basically, I'm going to pass you on to Gerwin Duggan. Now, Gerwin lives a few miles from me in Newport, and Gerwin's been in Viral Angels since the start, just over 2 years. And basically, Gerwin, I'll pass over to you. And how was it you actually got involved with Viral Angels? I think did you meet the CEO on a boat or something? Is that right?
Correct. Yeah. Originally, VA was going to be a product of another network, and after seeing the plan and seeing the way that this was going to develop, then Viral Angels became its own standalone network. So in it, we haven't looked back since. It's been a very exciting journey. But I would like to add about that beer barrel. We didn't finish it all off at the meeting. We actually walked out there with about 6 bottles in our pockets each. So they supplied us for the rest of the night. Is that not true, Adrian?
I think I had about 6. James had about 6, and I think you probably had about 8. I think you squeezed a few more. Yeah. But anyway, over to you, Gerwin, and yeah, let's get through this brilliant, unique opportunity.
Okay, thank you, Adrian. And yeah, like Adrian said, I've been in now for 2 years and 4 months. The first couple of months of it, and I'm not scared to admit it was a struggle because obviously there was only very few of us members. And for Viral Angels to become a success, then obviously the main thing that it needed was a large membership base. So for the first 12 months, we were chasing our tails. The website was rubbish, and as the business developed and the membership levels increased, then obviously the opportunity became better and better. And then it was around about sort of October to December time last year, the momentum started to build up, and at the beginning of the year, I do believe we had somewhere in the region of 800 members, and that grew substantially over the first quarter of this year, and that enabled us to start getting much better companies on board. The trading platform started to happen, and the rest is history. And we're now coming into the major growth phase of Viral Angels. But what I'm going to do is just give you a very brief overview of this. I'm not going to spend a great deal of time on this, but I will just give you a brief overview on what Viral Angels does, what it is intending to do, and that's very Welsh, isn't it? To do, and hopefully I can make this quite clear. So basically, what Viral Angels is a credit union. So it's a closed club of private investors, which was founded in June of 2012. Now, currently it's operating in 17 countries, and we got members in 70 countries. Actually, this is out of date. There's members in around about 90 countries now, and the main offices are in Stockholm, Sweden. You can. That's where it was. They've just recently moved to a new office block, which we attended about a month ago. And when you see how slick this operation is, how many staff they got working there. It's so impressive to be a part of a company which has so much vision and is going to help everybody. Adrian said some of the businesses which he's been in the past, some people lost money. Well, in this, it's impossible. It's absolutely impossible. Even people like my sister, who have never been involved with them, because I would never ever introduce them to a network because they're not networkers. but this would suit them down to the ground. So my sister's been an investor or a passive saver, should I say, in VA for about 19, 20 months. And even though she has never really become actively involved with the business, she's still got a portfolio worth over 7,000 €7,000. So she's now decided that if she's got that on a gold package, what's she going to get on a ruby package? So she's upgraded to ruby now, and obviously a return on her investment is going to be 297% more. So that's brilliant. So it's an opportunity open to people from any background. They haven't got to have any knowledge on this on this type of business. And after a conversation this afternoon where somebody was asking me, how much the companies put into it, what percentage of the companies do Viral Angels own, and all, quite frankly, I don't want to know, because if I learned that sort of thing and knew that sort of thing, I wouldn't be involved with Viral Angels. I would be doing it myself. And this means that people with no experience in the stock market can actually come in and make a very, very tidy return on their investments, which is fantastic. So what does Viral Angels do? First of all, it selects companies and takes a strong stock holding or shareholding position in that company. And as an example, and I always use this one because I know the figures, back a couple of months ago they took an investment in a company called MyCab International, which is a luxury airport transfer company, and they took 10% of that company, which equated to 40 million shares. Now, as it says at the bottom, 20% is retained by VA, and 80% is allocated to members. So they would have kept 8 million shares, and 32 million would have been divided between the members, which makes us all shareholders in that particular company. Now, some of that 20% retained by VA goes into option pools, which is then in turn given out. If you're above platinum on the levels, then that is given out to you as an option share, which usually comes out on a Friday night on top of what you're already getting. So what does it do? Well, basically, we instantly give the companies thousands of shareholders, because without shareholders, companies cannot go IPO. They cannot go public, because they need a certain amount of shareholders. This raises capital for the companies and assists in marketing. It's like, with the old company Athabasca, then VA would have taken a percentage of their company in shares for in return a capital injection from Viral Angels. So which is obviously where the membership fees go, and then it helps them prepare for an initial public offering IPO. So basically, that is it in a nutshell. We pay a membership fee of whatever somebody can afford, from €89 upwards per month, and some of that is paid out in commissions, which I'll cover later, but the vast majority of it goes into capital funding companies, and then we take a shareholding position in those companies for that return, which is great. So what do you get with VA? First of all, you get free shares by weekly allocations, and if there's any members on here tonight who are not a member, then Wednesday nights are a great time to join, because you'll get your shares about 11:30 tonight, and you'll get your first allocation of stocks on a Wednesday evening. So you then instantly become a shareholder in a hand-picked, promising company tonight before they're listed. And there's many companies which we've got now. I think we're up to 14, and you're meeting. Where else can you invest in a company on the stock market, and then you can go to London like we did on Sunday and meet 4 of the CEOs from those different companies? It's quite unique when you actually meet the CEOs, the owners of the companies which you've actually got stocks in. This is unheard of in the financial world. It's absolutely unbelievable. So there's no need for big personal capital. You only pay a fixed affordable membership fee that suits your budget. See, some people will want to put more money into to buy extra shares. I know Adrian done that. Personally, I've never done that. I've never put any more money into my weekly allocations. And to look at the size of my portfolio now, which is worth well over €300,000, is quite frankly, it's astounding. It's like this isn't a business; it's a lottery win as far as I'm concerned. the biggest problem I've got at the moment is figuring out how do I pay tax on it, and you know, I've actually had to get a tax advisor, which has just cost me £4,500, which is you know what, it's a terrible challenge to have. You know, you don't know what. I don't want to sell my shares for two reasons. Number one, I want them to increase. And number two, I don't want to pay 28% tax on them. But you know, I'm always more than willing to pay my taxes and all the rest of it. But you know, it's a nice headache to have, I must say. And the other thing is, you can trade your shares when you want, and there's no need to wait until they're listed. Now, these are the memberships. Ignore silver. I'll be taking that out of this presentation because they are actually discontinuing that membership at the end of October. So basically what you've got is anything from gold up to black diamond, and gold starts at 89 euros per month, platinum 145, ruby 295. But as an example, if you had 100 shares given to you for 89 euros a month at gold, and it could be 2, it could be 20, it depends on the value of that particular share. It's nothing to do with numbers, it's to do with the value of the stock. Because when some people say I had 200 shares last week, but I've only got 5 this week, well, 200 shares worth a penny and and 5 shares worth £20 is you know, you just got to work it out like that. So it's not based on numbers. I'm just giving you an example. So if somebody had 100 shares of gold at black diamond, they would have 1,168. So it's a lot higher. The actual amount of shares that you get goes up exponentially, depending on the package that you've actually got. Now, the membership benefits are, once again, you get weekly share allocations. You get access to the VA trading platform. You get Viral Angel's bonus program, education and training, and also a prepaid card, which you can order direct off T24 now to make it quicker. So bottom line is, what is this? The normal way, if you was going to invest in stocks, is you'd have to find the right company. Secondly, you'd need strong personal capital, or solid personal capital, and a lot of it. You'd need knowledge and experience, which, quite frankly, I ain't got, and I don't think anybody else on this call probably got. I did speak to our financial advisor, who was giving me all the do's and don'ts of stock holdings, and then he turned around to me and said, well, sorry, I can't afford the 89 euros a month. So you know, if you want to become wealthy, for God's sake, don't listen to a financial advisor, because most of them are skint. All right, and you have to wait until your company is listed. Sorry for any financial advisors on it. If you have got money, that's fantastic, by the way. All right. You have to wait until the company is listed if you want to sell your shares as well. In this, if you wanted to offload, you could. And I said earlier on, there was a guy in the group who paid 3 months at the beginning of the year, and he then just sat and disappeared, and all of a sudden last month he decided to start paying again. And all the allocations that he had during those 3 months, January, February, March, he sold for just under €1,000. He sold them all, every single share. And he was ecstatic. Absolutely, he couldn't believe it. Right, he's paid in probably £300, all right, and he's pulled out probably about £850, £800 to £850. He's tripled his investment. And I said, you know, realistically, that's not what this is about. And he said, I can't believe it. This is the first time I've ever made any money online. And the way that I'm looking at this, or the way that he looked at it, a completely different way. I'm not looking at this to pay my electric bill for 12 months. I'm looking at this to create wealth. And you know, I've got my own personal exit strategies as to when I'm going to sell, when I want to buy. And you know, the bottom line is, like, if you look at some of the shares at the moment, which is like at rock bottom prices, just as Trig was at the beginning of the year, when we were buying them at probably 1/10 of 1 pence. So imagine if you had gone and bought, I don't know, £20,000 worth, right, at 0.1 other euro. That money would have gone up, even in today's price at 17, it would have gone up 17 times. 17 times. That's 170 grand if somebody played their cards right. We don't know which way the stock is going to go. It's to a degree a little bit of gambling, but you can understand that the bottom line is you are buying these shares before they go public, and they're going to be incredibly cheap. And something which was going around the internet a lot last week, because it was the anniversary or something of one of the old Apple investors who actually owned 10% of Apple in 1976, and he decided that the stock was never going to go anywhere, and he sold 10% of Apple for $500. in 1976. If he'd actually kept those shares, today they'd be worth $16.5 billion. Now, needless to say, he's probably a bit pissed off with himself, but you know, I certainly would be. But you know, the point of VA is to keep the shares until they go public, not to sell them before. If that's what you want to do, by the way, that's fine. You know, life has a habit of getting in the way of everything, and you know, if somebody did want to cash out, that's absolutely fine. It's their shares. But you know, this is not a get-rich-quick scheme, or even just a way of making a quick buck. This is long-term wealth creation. So basically, VA do it for you. There's an affordable monthly fee. There's no experience required, and you can sell your shares anytime you want, even before the company is listed, if you so wish. Okay. Now, trading with RL Angels, you can trade the shares before they're listed. There's no broker fee. There's low share cost, and there's high profit. All right, and this marketplace is only open for payable members. Now, you can also invite new members and watch your income grow, because there's direct bonus in 5 levels. There's monthly bonus, there's leadership bonus, there's quarterly cash bonuses, there's annual leadership bonus, there's special promotions, and there's share bonuses as well. Now, that this slide is actually in the back office. So, for instance, if you introduce somebody at Platinum and they signed up at Platinum, you would get 15 euros real-time commission, and that get paid out in 5 levels, down to level 4, which is 6 euros. Now, before I forget, make sure that if you are actually on a MyCab subscription at the moment, then please go in and change that to Stripe, because number one, it's cheaper. The exchange rate is better. Today, the gold membership was coming in at about £1.50 cheaper than paying with MyCab. So just go in, cancel your MyCab subscription, and set up another one on the new payment process called Stripe. If you want to leave it with MyCab, that's up to you. But we're in the aim of saving people money, and also, sorry, I'm chewing on some nuts here. Must stop that. All right, so we're in the aim of saving people money, and also, if you wanted to upload money from MyCab, it used to be 5%. Stripe's free, so it's much cheaper now. If you wanted to load your account with extra money to go and purchase some shares. So there you are. But if you was at a gold membership and somebody signed up as a black diamond, you still get your 105 euros. You have not got to buy yourself up the levels to achieve the maximum bonuses, which is great. And also, you get monthly bonuses from 300 up to 1,000 on top of that, and you get monthly leadership bonuses as well of a certain percentage of whatever your turnover is below your pay level. So in other words, anything that comes in on level 6 or below, you get a percentage turnover of that. And this is absolutely awesome. I know Anders' first 5% check from his directorship was 25 grand. Then you got 5% then at senior director for 3 months. That was in excess of 50 grand. So you know, you are looking at a sizable amount of money on those 5% bonuses, and also you get paid out an annual amount as well, depending on what that would be an annual leader bonus of 0.25% of your entire turnover for a year, which is tidy. Okay, so what you would expect to earn as manager, 250, senior manager 750, executive manager 1,100, director 3,000, and so on. And believe me, these figures are quite understated. So basically, make a decision, right? Being the first one in a new worldwide business is a very rare opportunity. So just use your chance and start making money. Okay, so all I'm saying is this is very simple. If you want to build it, you can build it. If you don't want to build it, you don't have to. If you want to trade, you can trade. If you don't want to trade, you don't have to. Okay, I would say 70 to 80% of people within VA are just passive savers, which is great, because you know, it's open to anybody. We are going to cap off at 25,000 members, or 25,000 paying members, which means that you know, we are in a little bit of a race. There is one thing you will find as well, is if you go into the back office under trading, if you want to check this out and look at FanTrack. It is on Connect IB as well. Then some of the strike price share offers are actually in yellow. The ones which are in yellow are offers from the company direct. So they're actually offers from FanTrack. And if you decided, or if one of your team decided to go and invest in Fantrack Direct. They will get a special option, and there's 11% commission being paid out on that as well to anybody who's Ruby or above, and that is paid in shares. Okay, like yesterday, somebody invested in Fantrack. I didn't know anything about it because it only came out yesterday or the day before, and that paid me over 100 Fantrack shares in commission, which was pretty cool. So you know, that option is there now if you want to do a special arrangement with the directly with the companies. So they're not basically being traded between VA members; they're being traded directly to the companies. So I think I've covered all that. So please, if you're on a subscription, go in and change it to Stripe. It's cheaper for you, and it's more effective. And if you wanted to know what those yellow bars are, you now know. So Adrian, over to you.
Okay, thank you, Gerwin. That was very informative. Great stuff. Yeah, Ivor was just asked just a few questions to go through. Ivor was just asking the question: how do you actually change the mic card? I'm assuming that's just go into the back office, is it?
Yeah, just go into the back office and say where it says payment. All right, you just cancel my card and then just go back up and set it up as a Stripe.
Yeah.
All right, very simple. Yeah. Do you want me to do a screen share with that?
That's good. Let me share my screen and I tell you why, because we can use it as an example of mine. I need to do that to mine. So let me share my screen and just use it as a live example, right? Is that right?
Okay.
Go in.
Yep, I can see it. Right, back to Viral Angels.
Can you see my? Where do I go?
Right, go down to payment history.
There you go. Payment history.
Deactivate subscription.
Deactivate mic. As you can see here, everyone, I'm at Emerald level. I'm on a subscription of Emerald, so I'm deactivating that.
Right, now fully delete subscription.
As you can see, my subscription is actually due tomorrow, Gavin, the 9th of October.
Yeah, so you can do this now.
So this will be in time for tomorrow, eh?
Yeah, this is going to be a live demonstration. Adrian actually paying his membership.
Oh, here we
so
go.
fully delete subscription.
Will I need my credit card for this?
Yes.
Right.
You don't have to share the screen, otherwise we'll all write it down and go shopping.
Right. Okay. My credit card's in my bag, but okay. Let's do this first. And fully delete. Okay. That's gone.
Yep. Now go up to membership levels.
Membership levels on the left here.
Yep.
Here we go.
Down to Emerald.
Emerald. There you go. Emerald. Okay.
Yep.
€585 a month. Choose membership level.
Yep. And then click the second one down, credit card via Stripe.
Upgrade account. Always click this button, reoccurring, is that right?
Yep.
Reoccurring. That means it takes it off the card every month automatically.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah. Pay with card. Right, there we go. I'm not going to. I'll come back to that then, okay?
Yep.
I'll come back to that after the webinar. Obviously, my card number is there, my start date, and my CVC.
And also, once you've done this, your card is stored. So if you want to upload money, you don't have to keep going through all this. It's a much more efficient system than my card.
I actually missed the webinar at 8 o'clock. Was it recorded? But this is what you actually done on the webinar at 8 o'clock. Is that right? Some training? Is this what you done on the webinar?
I didn't cover this, no, but I told people to actually go onto Stripe.
Okay, that's great. So and that's quite simple to change to Snipe. That's all new information.
Well, all I'm saying is the exchange rate is a lot better on it. So for people in the UK, the exchange rate is saving them money.
Yeah. I tell you what, somebody just sent me a text in a few levels below me, and so on the screen now, the product screen on the screen now, the gold and the free line. See the free and the gold? That's in what they call a beginner's line, isn't it?
Yeah.
The question is, somebody was asking the question, as gold is in the same column as free,
Yeah.
Does that mean you don't get paid on your downline as a gold member? I wouldn't have thought so, but that was the question.
No, you get paid if you're a gold member. You get paid the same as if you was any level, right? Doesn't matter.
So you get paid on your downline as a gold member, obviously.
Yeah, of course,
Yeah.
completely.
And the other question was, see these intermediate and exclusive here, this 120% and 150%. Any idea what this means?
Yeah, because it basically is the easiest way to work it out, right, is the amount of shares that you get. So even though gold, right, is not platinum is not more. Let's go to ruby, right? So because you get 120% more, right? Share allocator multiplier is called. Go down a little bit. So the easiest way to work it out is on a ruby allocation, you would get 397% more than what you would on a gold. So if you had 100 shares at gold, you get 397 at ruby.
Which is nearly 4 times the amount. 4 times.
Yeah. All right, and like you're getting 900. If you get 100 shares at gold, you would be getting 985 at emerald.
Yeah. I'm an emerald, so I'm getting nearly 10 times the amount. Is that right?
Correct. You're getting nearly 10 times the amount of shares as a gold, even though, right, it's not 10 times the amount of money.
Okay, that's good.
All right, so that's quite straightforward. And the answer to that question, Ivor, is no. It won't affect it at all. They just want people to change over to Stripe.
Right. The other question.
It's basically because it's less expensive for the company to process them as well.
All right. The other question I've got on a text from a few people who can't make the webinar tonight is what does VA, when they take a 20% stake in a company,
yeah,
they give 80% away to the likes of me and you as a member. The other 20% they keep. What do they do with that 20% they keep? What's it all about?
Some of it goes into option. Some of that is the option pool. And obviously the company's got to take a profit as well.
So the company is obviously out, to make a profit like any company.
Of course, yeah. Now there's one thing which was announced on Sunday, which you might not be aware of, is that it looks like VA is actually going to float.
That's right. I remember you saying that.
VA as a company will float, which means that we all own the company anyway, because it's a members club.
Yeah.
So we're all going to be tidy shareholders in VA as well, which is going to be fantastic when you consider the turnover of this company.
That could be very interesting once it reaches 25,000 members and the amount of money.
Oh my God! Can you imagine?
The shares could go through the roof on its own just for that.
Adrian, the way you've got to look at this, right, is like when there's 25,000 members and people are in it and they're realizing, wait, as a gold member, I'm making £3,000 a year, right? What would I be making as a black diamond? 168%, 1,168% more, less the cost.
Yeah. Yeah, that's incredible.
It's incredible.
The other thing is, which is quite incredible as well, from last Sunday's event, was VA possibly opening up, I'm not sure if it's definite, to the US market. Is that correct?
That's what Tony said, and that should be in place by the end of the year.
So basically, we can sponsor people in the US. That's quite,
yeah,
isn't it?
That is going to be excellent. How that's going to work, we haven't had the details on it yet, so we can't comment on it.
No, but anyway, but not that we need the US, but it could be something. That could be something special, couldn't it?
That's right. There's a lot of people got contacts in the USA, and obviously it's the world's biggest market for this sort of thing anyway. But luckily enough, they got lawyers over there now who are just sorting out all the legals and everything with it.
And also, from a financial point of view, for any financial advisors out there, Tony was also talking about a SIP, wasn't he? You can actually use a self-invested personal pension, a SIP as they call it, to buy shares in Vital Angels. Was that right?
Correct.
So that's possibly coming on board. So that's very interesting because, as I was saying, I work in British Gas, I used to work in British Gas rather, but I've got an £115,000 sterling, that is obviously pounds, frozen pension in British Gas from the 10 years that I worked there.
Yeah.
So I could probably play with that, not say use all the 115,000, but I could do some damage with that with some shares as well, couldn't I? Correct.
I've got a 24-year frozen pension in British Steel.
Oh right.
And their pension scheme is apparently quite good. Nor has ever looked at it, but I've seen the guys I used to work with who have all coming up to retirement age now. And all they're doing is complaining that they can't live on the pension that they've got.
That's right. Yeah, lots of people have lost money in pensions as well now over the years. All the money they paid in is worthless now, isn't it? It's quite sad, really.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, we're on the screen here, and there's not so many questions there at the moment. I'm not sure if anyone wants to put a few questions in the box. Well, we're on my live screen. Because I missed the training at 8 o'clock, I rushed to get back. If I just go into my back office here, Gerwin, VA Mark, this is what you do the training on, isn't it? This is what.
Yeah.
So, what do you actually show people on this part with regards to? Obviously, the top part here is my. Let's blow that up just in case it's a bit small. The top part here is my holding. See, these are the shares I own at the top, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's obviously my balance from some commissioners coming today. But and below these are the actual companies.
Yeah. Click on fan track.
Click on fan track, right?
Okay, now go down to where it says 65. The ones in yellow.
There you go. 65.
They are the company offers. So anybody who put it on offer for them. Sorry, anybody who purchased them, then there's commissions payable on those through the pay plan.
So basically, if I click show here and I buy 1,000 of these, well, I got the chance of buying 1,000. I got the choice of buying 100. If I buy 100 shares at 65 pence, that's 65 pounds.
Yeah.
I'm assuming you, as my sponsor, then would get commission on that. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's quite interesting.
Yeah, I even said there we're all talking amongst ourselves.
All right.
So if anybody got any questions, but like I said, please guys, if you got, please tell your downlines to change to Stripe ASAP.
And if I want to buy a share, just to demonstrate, if I actually want to buy one of these fan track shares myself, obviously on the right hand side you've got the sell offers. I can either buy on the right hand side here, can I, by clicking show. I'm buying one of these at 0. So I can buy 10 of these at 0.60 and pay £6.
Yeah.
Or I can come to the left side and possibly put an offer in for 0.58, get it a little bit cheaper. Is that right?
Correct. Yeah.
So let me just demonstrate that. So you add offer, you leave that on buy, you go on to fan track. I always put that at 7 days. You stick one share in there. Whoops, 100. There you go, one share, and then I put in there 0.58.
If you wanted that to sell quick, you'd have to put it in the 0.59.
Okay, put in 0.59 as a demonstration, one share. So I'm buying one fan track share at 59 pence. Click add offer, and that's my trade at the top, the green line, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I'm top of the shop here with regards to possibly getting that share at 59. So,
yeah. Now let me do a little demonstration for you, because I'll actually go in and buy that share now.
All right.
All right. I'll sell that share to you. Wait 1 second.
Yeah, because all this trading that's going on in the back office here on this crowdfunding platform is all member to member, basically, isn't it?
Yeah.
Until the company actually floats on the stock market itself.
Right. Okay. Hang on. Right. Refresh that now, Adrian.
Yeah, that green line is gone.
I just sold you a fan track share.
And if I go into my cash account, you just told me, if I go into my cash account now to check that transaction, whoops, I don't know what's going on there. You have actually sold that to me, have you?
Yeah.
So there you go, there it is. Purchased one share in fan track on the 8th of October, the top one there. Obviously, that's at the euro price, isn't it? Not the sterling price. It's converted from sterling into euros, isn't it? Because is that right?
Correct.
Yeah. All right. Okay, that's quite interesting. Yeah. Okay, that's great.
All right. So let me just quickly explain to Ivor again. Right. Ivor. Basically, what it is in Fantrack and some of the others, like IB Connect IB, they've also got company offers in. The companies directly. So Fantrack are offering options to buy directly from them rather than buying from another member. And for doing that, we'll have the information out shortly that they'll be offering some extra options on those as well. So that's great.
Well, while we're on, Gary, before we finish off, it's only just short of 5 to 10. The hour's not quite up yet. This Athabasca looks quite interesting, isn't it? Because the shares started off at around, well, the early part of September at around, well, as it's saying there, 29 pence.
Yeah.
32 pence. All of a sudden, then they're up to 40 pence, 48 pence, 50 pence, and then they hit 95 pence, and then they peaked at. Did you say it was? I thought it was £2.50. You said it was actually 1.58 to show in there.
Yeah, I know. That's the average. Don't forget, this is an average.
An average, right? So
Okay.
a lot of people expect, including myself. I know I bought a load at £1 at one point. No, less than £1 rather. I think between 50 pence and £1, and I think you had a load quite cheap as well, didn't you?
That's correct.
But what you actually done when you actually hit this peak, it's a bit of a gamble, but you sold a few as well then, didn't you? You sold quite a lot.
I sold quite a lot, but I tried to sell most of them at £2.55. But it turned at £2.50.
You sold quite a lot at £2.50 then.
I sold some at £2.50, but I was selling most of them at £2.55 because I wanted to go and buy them when they dropped back down.
Yeah, and obviously, as anything with shares, it's like the stock market. Whatever goes up normally comes back down until it levels out for whatever reason. Obviously, it's back down to around about £1, just over £1 a share again now, so you could then start buying again, I suppose, couldn't you?
Correct, and then when people start buying again because they're low, it'll push the price back up.
So like I said, this is all getting a bit, not saying complex now, so this is sort of on a trader level, all this, but at the end of the day, 80% of people who join this business, they don't do any of this, do they? They just save, don't they? They don't get involved with all this, do they?
No, correct.
But it can be quite complex for the sort of average sort of Joe Blogs, if that's the right expression to use. But most, if you want to be quite smart and learn this, then this is another income on its own. Is that right, Gavin?
Definitely.
Yeah. So that's all good news. But if you need help with these things, obviously you can arrange a one-to-one with me and Gavin, or we can have a three-way share or a four-way share on Skype or TeamViewer. And yeah, that's if you want to take this extra knowledge to the next.
Right. Let me answer Ivor's question again.
Yeah.
The ones in yellow are company offers. In other words, they're offers directly from Fantrack. If they're not in yellow, they're just offers between members. Okay, so the ones which are in yellow are actually offers from the company. Is that what you mean, Ivor?
And this is quite new, Gavin, this yellow bar, isn't it? This yellow bar's only happened in the last few days, hasn't it?
Last few days, yeah. But obviously, it's only going to come on certain stocks.
But at the end of the day, it's, like I said, all the complexes. At the end of the day, I would just, if you're only just joining Viral Angels, or it doesn't matter if you've been in a few months, I would just concentrate on staying as a saver, basically, and just building the business, isn't it? Just basically prospect, look for other people that may be interested in this, and don't overcomplicate it. Just keep it simple. It's a savings plan for the small-scale investor that's going to give you a lot more returns than a bank or building society, and that is it.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely. So,
yeah.
Anyway, yes, if we can call this a night now, because I got to go on another webinar.
We're just on the hour now, yeah. Okay then, thanks everyone, and this has been recorded, so I'll put this will be uploaded by midday tomorrow on my team's site, and I think everyone's got the team site. I'll just put it in there quickly. spiralangelsteam.com. I'll just give an example, question mark ID equals 16336, but obviously change the number on the end. If you want to send that to anyone else, just change the number on the end and put your ID on the end, change the 5 numbers on the end of the link. And you can watch the recording of this from tomorrow at midday. All right, thanks again, Gerwin. And like I said, we do this every Wednesday at 9 o'clock. So the whole idea of this is to obviously bring new people in, bring new prospects to this webinar every Wednesday, and we'll do the work for you, basically. Okay, cheers, Gerwin.
Right, guys. Bye.
Good night, guys. Cheers, bye.